Well, if you're as tired as I am of listening to the Democratic debates on TV, they're basically silly arguments at this point. Not to mention, everything that goes on during election season, which is non-news and basically faux news on virtually every channel. Um, probably wanted to share with you some real information, which should be of concern to everyone because it's going to go on way beyond these elections which are happening. And people should pay attention to this stuff, even though it's not mentioned in the mainstream news, or it's being sidelined and it's just a blip on the radar screen someplace and it scrolls down very quickly. So what is happening now is that Google has started a pilot project in terms of collection of medical records. And as they say, it's just a pilot project, and they're going to get into the business of collecting your medical records so that you, as the patient, supposedly, so that you can have better access to information and your own records. Um, Not to mention targeted advertisements later on. But, as we all know, Google already collects enough information about all of us, including all of our search terms that we place into that search engine, and they collect them and keep them for indefinite periods of time, even though they said in a lawsuit mentioned about 2 months ago, 2 years ago, that they were only keeping those records for 18 months. Uh, you know, I'm not sure if I would trust that assessment, and I would caution you to believe that, basically. Google has also censored political news at the request of the Chinese government when they went into that market. So that is probably a sign of things to come. Now, I realize that some of my younger viewers may not see that as something unusual or as a threat to their privacy. And that's probably because they're used to sharing their personal information on MySpace, um, YouTube, whatever, very personal information that they think that they're only sharing with private friends sometimes if they keep their profiles on the private level. But rest assured, all of these things are eventually going to catch up with you because all this information being collected amounts essentially to a huge dossier on every citizen collected by largely a few corporations, which can be shared with anyone at the government's request once they happen to have some beef with you. And it's not a conspiracy theory. It doesn't even have to be the government or anything. Later on, when you turn 35, 40 or so, you're going to have some health problems which are going to make you less attractive to potential employers once you're looking for another job, and once your DNA profile becomes public information on Google, since you have um, unwittingly signed up for that service, then of course you have signed your rights away under the existing HIPAA laws. You have by a simple click of the button in your browser agreed to make that information available to not just your doctor, your nurses, your confidants, your family, but in order to access more information about your particular medical condition, you have basically made your entire medical record uh, a matter of public knowledge, uh, including your comments, your names, your email correspondence, basically everything that somebody might request later on about you. And as I say, um, you should be very, very concerned about this, because eventually it's not going to work in your favor if a few companies can build dossiers on your based on your private health history, your DNA profile, the potential for you to be in bad health maybe 5 years from now. Or a family member maybe has been incarcerated, has nothing to do with you personally. A friend, may have been arrested. All this is basically being collected, and a dossier, just like the Stasi's did in an old-fashioned way in East Germany, is now being basically entrenched into American society. And people are willingly signing up for it, which is quite amazing, because some younger people obviously don't realize what all of this technology entails once you give your rights away. So I seriously want to caution people about signing up for these services. And as Google itself has admitted as part of their pilot project, it is not covered by HIPAA laws. In other words, it is not, once you sign on to the service, your privacy is gone. The Health and Portability Act, which was basically set up to keep your information, medical information, confidential between you and your doctor, will now be used as a potential marketing tool for others. So please, please pay attention to these technological developments. It may be very convenient, and it may seem a very good thing at first, but essentially our rights are being further eroded, and we don't need chips implanted in our brains, as some of the conspiracy theorists have said, if we're basically giving all of our personal information away willingly and without a chip in place. So that's what I had to say about it. And I work in the medical field, and I can assure you that there is very, very confidential information out there that you may not want other people to know.